So I wanted to take a few minutes to record a quick video before the surgery, which has been scheduled for tomorrow. Today is March 16th, Wednesday, 2022. It's been a pretty hectic 2 weeks that I've been through. I got to the point where I decided that, my condition with my neck needed to be resolved, and I needed to resort to the option that the surgeons mentioned to me, which is obviously the cervical disc replacement surgery, which I'll be having tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions. Definitely a bit anxious and a bit nervous, a bit scared even, but I'm sure everything will go well. I'm really looking forward to get this thing fixed and get rid of the pain that I've been feeling for quite some time. I watched some videos on YouTube which were very helpful by other patients that had gone through a similar experience and who had the surgery done to them. People, they document their recovery and they post the videos on YouTube. I found that very comforting. The one night I was just sitting in the lounge and watching some of these videos. Obviously a lot of things were going through my head, and it was very helpful just hearing from other people, and it was tremendously comforting. It made me very hopeful, because in moments when one is in a lot of pain and one feels quite in despair almost, you kind of struggle to find hope. I just wanted to record this video before the surgery to kind of capture my thoughts and to share my own message and to share this with anyone out there that might find it helpful. And my history and my diagnosis with my neck goes back probably 5+ years, where I've had a stiff neck symptom, I've had neck pain, I've had spasms going down into my shoulders and into my upper back. I started open water swimming about a year ago, which I did for 12 months pretty seriously. I was swimming 2, 3, 4 times a week, and that definitely helped me a lot to keep my muscles loose. And there were times when I was convinced that my neck was improving and that I would be able to resolve it by myself. When I started the swimming, I was actually swimming with my snorkel because I struggled to turn my neck. I didn't have that mobility that would bring on pain. And I swam for a couple of months with a snorkel, and then I eased myself off that snorkel. I was swimming in the pool. I would swim for 5, 10, 15 minutes and still get headaches from the rotation. But I got to a point where I was swimming regularly, and I was actually in part of an advanced training program, and I was going to swim Robben Island last year in November. And then in October I got COVID, unfortunately, and I was coughing for a week, and then my whole back went into spasm, and that brought on more neck pain. I then stopped the advanced swimming program and I cancelled the plans to swim the Robben Island crossing. Another thing is I've been to loads and loads of physios over the year. I was seeing a physio sort of up to 2 to 3 times a week just to kind of keep my muscles relaxed, and I would always end up in a muscle spasm again, which was very frustrating. And always have that feeling of a stiff neck and almost as though my head is too heavy for my neck, and sort of a feeling of an elephant sitting on the back of your neck. So towards the end of last year, I got a recommendation from a friend of mine, James, who I swim with. He's been an amazing support through this period, and he recommended I go see a shoulder and elbow specialist. And I went to see this professor. He examined me. We had x-rays taken. He looked at those x-rays. He couldn't really see anything wrong. But the one thing he did diagnose was that it's definitely an issue with my neck and not my shoulder or my arm, which was very helpful. He then also recommended that I get an MRI done, and I got that done at the end of last year. I think it was December 30th when I went in for that MRI, and I got that report back, and that report sort of told me that I had a herniated disc between C5, C6. That was obviously causing a problem. I then went to see a orthopedic surgeon with my MRI, and his suggestion was that my symptoms are fairly mild, that I just have a stiff neck and I don't have any pain going down my arms. So he suggested a cervical disc replacement surgery or a fusion. And at the time he said, it's totally up to me. I obviously don't need the surgery, it's not life-threatening. So I then also got a second opinion from a neurosurgeon, and I saw him on the 23rd of February this year, 2022. And his advice was similar. He said, the disc replacement surgery, he was pretty confident that the surgery would fix my problem, but it's obviously up to me. If I don't have any serious symptoms, then I don't need the surgery. It's not life-threatening, and my condition won't lead to paralysis or anything more serious like that. But then on the 24th of Feb, which was my birthday, 2022, I don't know what happened, but the pain started to get worse, and I felt more sort of pinching pain and nerve pain, and then I also started getting this pain into my right arm, which was very concerning. That has been with me for the past 2 weeks, and I went back to that surgeon. He gave me very strong pain medication for the weekend, and I started taking opioid pain meds, and I always ended up vomiting. So I stopped taking those pain meds. I've been taking mostly paracetamol and codeine and muscle relaxants, but mostly paracetamol for the pain, and that has gotten me through the past 2 weeks. But I've decided to go for the surgery because the pain is just too debilitating, and I've stopped swimming, I've stopped riding my scooter, I've stopped doing a bunch of stuff that I do regularly and that brings joy to my life. I feel like the surgery is the right step forward. I did still go see a physio this past Monday, and she treated the nerve pain in my right arm, and she suggested that I should consider postponing the surgery by 2 weeks if my symptoms improve, but they only improved for about half a day and then they came back. So I decided to stick with the slot that I was given by the surgeon and have the surgery. So the surgery is a disc replacement, so C5, C6, somewhere here. I can feel the pain. Currently I've got neck pain. If I move my neck back, it sort of starts pinching. It's sort of a pinching nerve pain, and I also have pain in my arm, and it's just been very uncomfortable. And I've sort of been going to bed at around 9, taking a painkiller, and then waking up at 4 with severe pain in my arm and in my neck, and then taking another painkiller to help me sleep for the rest of the night. So that's sort of been my routine. So I took the slot and I confirmed the surgery, which will be happening tomorrow. They removed the herniated disc that is obviously pushing onto the nerves. So they removed that disc and they replaced it with an artificial disc. And the way they get access is through the front of the neck here. It'll either be on the right or the left. I'm assuming it'll be on the right here, we'll see. But they make the incision in the front here, and then they move everything else out the way to access the cervical spine. I was amazed by watching some of the other videos where people were 24 hours after the surgery, they were walking around, they were actually not in a lot of pain, and they couldn't imagine that they had surgery. So I'm very hopeful for a sort of simple and quick-ish recovery. And then all you're left with is a scar over here, and I think pain in the back of your neck because they have to sort of open up the vertebra as they work on them, as well as a very sore throat because they obviously have to put a pipe down your throat during the anesthetic, probably also because they have to move stuff out of the way to get access to the spot. So that's as much as I know based on my research. I kind of also stopped researching after a while because you can kind of totally drive yourself insane asking yourself all the questions and doing more and more research. I think that was the most challenging part for me, was just making that decision to have the surgery, because I'm the type of person that's very risk averse and I want to make sure I don't make a mistake. I want to make sure I make the right decision. And there just comes a time where you have to make a decision and you have to put your faith and trust in the surgeon. And I've been assured that the surgeon that will be operating me is one of the best in Cape Town and in South Africa. And so I'm sure it's going to go well. It's a fairly straightforward surgery that they do hundreds of times, and they know what they're doing. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a success. I'm hoping it'll remove all the pain. I'm hoping it'll let me get back into my usual lifestyle of swimming and exercise and being active, driving my scooter, not being in pain all the time, because that really has been weighing down on me, and it's just been chipping away at my patience and also my mood. It's been pain that is bearable, but it's pain that is very uncomfortable, and I wouldn't want anyone to feel this type of pain. And the nerve pain is quite acute, really. It's sort of like a pinching, very uncomfortable pain, not like muscle pain. So that's it. That's my pre-surgery video summary of my story. And thumbs up for a successful surgery tomorrow. And I will do update videos as I recover. Awesome. I'm Sean Toomey, and I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.